So teaching foundation phase online is actually very similar to teaching in a brick and mortar school, except there are adaptations that have to take place to ensure that learning can happen or that the environment is conducive to learning for all the learners. Yes, so it's very similar to brick and mortar school, but it is online, it is virtual. We are looking at each other through a screen. Obviously parents or guardians are on the other side that are facilitating the learning along with us. It's a collaborative learning experience, and that's what makes it so special as well. So teaching online to a foundation phase learner is very hands-on. You cannot expect them at 6 or 7 or even 8 years old to have to sit for a whole hour. It is very practical. We get up, we move, we have brain breaks in between. They actually work physically in their books, so we will mimic it on our screen. And that's where the parent comes in, or the guardian, that is going to facilitate and be the warm body next to that learner and actually be the hands that we can't be in guiding them where to write, showing them, okay, put your finger over here, or that's how we make a finger space. But it is very interactive. There's a lot of feedback from the learners, a lot of questions being asked that they feel that they are part of the learning experience. And like I said, very physical. We get up, we move, we use concrete aids. Yeah, the teachers put on a great show. It's actually been pretty easy. One would think that teaching learners to read and write online is going to be a challenge, but it's not, because we've got the digital side of things that makes it very easy. So we can share our screen, we can actually play the songs, we can show them exactly how the letter is being formed, we can do blending practice with amazing programs, lots of AI tools that we have at our disposal that you wouldn't have in a brick and mortar school, which makes it really fantastic to actually teach reading and writing online. Once again, it is a collaborative effort with the parents in guiding the learners where to actually write. But once they get it, they know exactly what to do, and it's surprisingly very easy. The difference between online and brick and mortar, there are a few differences. One being that the parent or the guardian is part of the learning experience, which is actually very special. They get to actually see what the child is doing. They can step in and assist if assistance is needed, and they know exactly what is happening, what's happening in the curriculum and what they're actually receiving. So that's one amazing thing. The other thing is that our contact time is obviously a lot less, so it has to be very focused and very engaging. Otherwise, you're not going to have your learners sit over there for a whole hour. So we need to keep it fun and interactive, that they actually want to be there and want to participate. So that's very different. An amazing difference that I've found from teaching in brick and mortar and online, oftentimes in a brick and mortar school, you will have certain subjects that may be overlooked because you've got a large class. And there is your core subjects that we need to focus on to actually get learners to go through to the next grade. Online doesn't work that way. It is already scheduled before the time. The fun is not taken out. We do art, we do science with our learners, where we actually do experiments. We do movement, so we actually do PE with them almost online, which is amazing. So they actually get to experience everything. It's not just hammering on these core subjects the whole time, to assist everybody in a large classroom. It's also a bit more one-on-one, because although there might be 16 or 17 staring at your screen, they all have a facilitator sitting with them, which makes it a bit more of a one-on-one experience, which is really amazing for the learner to reach their full potential. Oftentimes there are learners that didn't thrive in a brick and mortar school, in a regular classroom setup, that do phenomenal online. There's a lot of factors that contribute to this. It can be learners that may have barriers. Perhaps they've got sensitivity to sound or to visual stimulation, learners that may be even on the spectrum, or learners that are battling with dyslexia or any form of barrier. We're sitting in classrooms that have got way too many kids in for this age. That is completely eliminated over here. They are in their own environment where they feel safe, and that environment can be controlled and adjusted to actually suit the learner and their needs, which makes it very easy for them to actually then achieve academic success. So in the online setup, we still offer learners the opportunity to socialize. We have things like breakout rooms where they can go into separate rooms and they'll actually do group work together. So we might ask them questions. A lovely example is I've asked my learners to go into 2 breakout rooms and they had to tell me, the one team about cold fronts and why it's so important to know about cold fronts and the dangers surrounding cold weather, and the other group spoke about heat waves, and then we could come back and could collaborate, and actually have a discussion about what did your team discuss and what did your team discuss. We offer them also opportunities to socialize. So we open up breakout rooms. The little ones love to play games. So we have things like the emoji game, where one learner will pick an emoji and everyone has to see how quickly they can find it. They play rock, paper, scissors online, which is really amazing. We have the chat room, so they can go and have a chat, and they absolutely love to draw. So they can share their whiteboards. They know how to do that, and they can actually then draw together on the whiteboard, be it in their own little pictures or working on a picture together, which is really fantastic. Getting little ones to participate in lessons is actually very easy. So long as it's fun and it is engaging and welcoming and warm, they are more than happy to take part. Obviously, when they first start, they may be a little bit hesitant, but they quickly see that the other learners are doing it, and they quickly get up and take part in it. And of course, the teachers are there doing it as well. So they feel like it's okay to do this too, because teachers are also doing it. Support of parents or facilitators and guardians is really important in the foundation phase. It is very hands-on. We need somebody over there, a warm body, because we cannot be that. I oftentimes wish I could climb through the screen to help a learner, but we can't. And that is where the facilitator does come in. At this age, they don't have that spatial perception or awareness as an adult does. So, for example, writing in a line book, it's very important to have someone to guide them and to say, all right, you are on the correct line. Oh, just have a look. It needs to touch the top. Can you see, teachers, on the screen? It's touching the top and the bottom of the line. So having a facilitator is really important. When we do experiments as well, these are things that the kids can't do on their own. So the facilitator has to be sure that the learner is prepared, that they are organized, help to organize their workspace as well, because they don't have that skill yet. They aren't able to put all of their maths things together or all of their numeracy or literacy things together. The facilitator is going to have to guide that. And by mimicking that and actually showing them, they are going to learn how to do that on their own later. So yes, it's absolutely a collaborative space. Facilitators and teachers work 100% together to help the child achieve academic success. The parents and the facilitators, because it could be a guardian, it could be a tutor, it could be a parent, whoever is sitting with that learner has the opportunity to see exactly what is going on in the curriculum. In a brick and mortar school, the child goes to school. You don't know what teaching is taking place in that classroom. Here you can see everything. The minute that you see the student that you are working with, be it your own child or somebody else's child, is battling with something, you can immediately step in. You can contact the teacher and say, wow, I saw this was a real struggle today. Can you please guide me on how I can help them? Or you can practice it yourself. And once again, with enrichment as well, a learner that does really, really well, you are able to say, wow, they really do good at this. They're actually getting a bit bored. And it's very easy then to give them enrichment activities and say, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to give you a bigger number range, or I'm going to give you harder books to read. I don't want you to just read these easy things. So a parent or a facilitator that's working with their learner online actually has a very special opportunity to be a part of their child's learning, to be a part of that curriculum, and to be a part of their academic success. Connecting with students is very important. They need to feel like they are actually achieving something, that they are able to do this. We connect with students in the classroom because they are so young. So that goes on verbal feedback. Wow, that's fantastic. Oh, I see you battling a bit over there. Let's try that again. So that verbal feedback is very important for the learners. Oftentimes a person will even have to take a step back and to make things even sometimes a bit easier or a little bit harder to make them feel like they have achieved something more than just what is in front of them. And then we have feedback with the parents as well that they can give to the learner. So that would be via our inbox on Canvas, which is the LMS that we are using, the learning management system, or via email. We also have live meetings with the parents on Zoom, where we are able then to give feedback and to actually discuss the progress and to discuss what have we seen, where are they battling, where do they need help, how can we enrich the learner in areas that they are doing really, really well, and they are able to put things in place then. But most of our feedback to the learner themselves goes on verbal feedback. Once they have submitted formal tasks as well, we use things like Cami, which is the program that we use for our assessments currently, and we can leave little comments, we can actually leave voice notes for them because they cannot all read, especially our little grade R's, and we can give them stickers, which is fantastic. They get digital stickers and they absolutely love it, and so they get feedback from that as well to say, wow, great job, or you did super, teacher's so proud of you, and yeah, they thrive off of getting that positive feedback.